always trying to ice skate up a hill. And then
Right.
it explodes in a orgy of guts. Oh, wait, are we live? Okay, forget about that. That'll just be the weirdest intro to the Famicast ever.
Well, it's there. It's in. So hello and welcome to Famicast 90, your Famicast for the latter part of October 2016. I'm Danny Bivens, and I'm here with James Charlton.
Read the hashtag, motherfuckers.
And also Ty Sugart.
Yo, what up? What's good?
And also joined again by Cyrus Delaney.
I'm Cyrus.
Woo! So I got kind of a focused type of show for you guys here today. We're mainly going to just talk about like Nintendo Switch stuff. Right before that happens, something that kind of came up a little bit before the show, I'll just mention so it's just out there and out of the way. Capcom and Nintendo are going to be having a special Monster Hunter Direct on October 27th at 8 p.m. Japan time. That's like whatever. You can figure it out if you look for it on the internet. But like the main thing that you'd take from this is that they specifically said this is not about an NX game. This is not about a smartphone game. So don't get your hopes up for anything like that.
Well, that'll be painfully obvious by the time people listen to this anyway.
Oh yeah, exactly. Unless you're listening live. But
also, we should briefly mention the telethon, how successful it was, and how fantastic it was, and how amazing we were.
Yes.
Well, I put "we" in quotes, but we had a lot of money, and we spent most of it. Wait a minute, cut that bit out.
We had successful weekends, is what you're saying.
We donated it all to charity, and it was good to have JJ and John back on.
Yep.
And good times were had for the kids.
So let's go ahead and
next sick kids next whatever.
It probably didn't seem kind of like
boring. Yeah. Sorry about that.
So let's get on with the nerd stuff, the stuff that you guys probably maybe want to hear us talk about, maybe not, but you're going to anyways.
This is only the fifth podcast that our listeners are listening to that's been entirely focused on the Switch.
Most definitely. But this is Ty's here too, so I'm really interested to hear what he has to say about this stuff, Mr. Contrarian Ty himself.
It's me.
So, first things first, obviously, Nintendo revealed the NX last week fully, and it is not called the NX, it's called the Nintendo Switch, as you know.
It's called the NS.
NS, right. It's another thing that you can call it, I guess. Yeah. I guess wanted to go over some basic stuff here first, and then maybe start kind of doing our thoughts about that, James.
Well,
guys,
how I've written it in the agenda, the show notes for us today is that broken it down into the console, the controller or controllers, the games, and then just like a general, whatever you want at the end. Let's just talk about whatever the hell you want. So we'll go through it, but like that, then we won't get sidetracked in. Well, too much. Well, this is the Famicast. We're bound to get sidetracked, but
it's gonna happen.
At least try it semi-organized,
right,
or semi-organized, depending on how you say it.
Depending where you hail from. Another thing too, if you guys are in the YouTube chat and want to ask us some questions or comments or whatever, we actually have that going this time. I think Cyrus is.
Well, we had that last time, right? But we just ignored it, or we didn't know what was going on, right?
I didn't have it pulled up, so I couldn't see anything that was going on. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah,
and the weird thing is, YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, just completely delete that once the live show finishes. So we have no way of actually even getting it back. So there's like this whole, chat going on, questions being asked at us. We ended the show and that all disappeared. And we're like, well, sorry.
Yeah, so I wanted to make it, a bit more of an effort to. Well, I don't know. I never even, for whatever reason, I just didn't think about it. But we're aware. We have some, boots on the ground. So, yeah.
All I remember is this one guy just trolling us. That's the only thing I remember.
That's totally fine.
Feel free to do that as well.
Yes. So, like James said, with the console, yes, it's called the Nintendo Switch. It's basically a hybrid system. It's the tablet part can basically rest into the dock, and you can either play it on your TV or play it, on the go, not just in your house like it was kind of like with the Wii U. Well, completely like with the Wii U. The dock appears to have 2 USB ports on there.
Yeah, we think so. Although
Yeah.
the rumors that Emily Rogers dug up months ago, and she turns out she was entirely right. most of the things she said were right. With that, the final one has 3, so maybe there's another one behind it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just so you can have accessories attached to it, and still have 2 free for whatever, charging your controllers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So 2/3.
Right.
We don't know because we didn't see behind the dock.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, too, as is pretty consistent with the stuff that Emily Rogers has brought up. I mean, this thing is using cartridges, and they're because you got a bit of a glimpse of them in the video, and they're a little bit chunkier than what you would have seen on for 3DS stuff or DS or anything like that. I mean,
Really? Did you make that out? I couldn't make that out.
Yeah, it shows they're like putting it in so you can compare it to like standard finger size. They're quite chunky.
Right. Unless she has like baby fingers and it's a 3DS card size.
But it was really zoomed. It was really zoomed in, and it was like over in like half a second. It was like, I couldn't make it out. But somebody did actually slow it down and take a screenshot and highlight that, and it does say the word game card written on the flap.
Yeah.
Just before he opens it, so that's what they call them, game cards, I guess. Which is what they called 3DS ones, I think. Game cards, right?
Sure. I know in Japan
there's a debate going on on the A4 podcast. I think it's John takes the side that they're all called carts. He refuses to call them game cards. It's like they're carts, they're cartridges or whatever. But yeah, I think they're game cards. Whatever.
No, we're putting words in people's mouths.
Why not?
Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it's weird because like with the N64, they kind of did it at the wrong time because CDs were brand new and they were like super cheap, and they looked like idiots for doing cartridges when they were astronomically expensive. There was no such thing as an SD card when the N64 came out. But now we've got 64 gig, 128 gig. What's the biggest SD card around now?
Well, my phone has like 128 gigs in a single card in it, so
there's even like micro ones, like the ones that the size of your baby finger.
I have one that's like the size of my thumbnail, and it's 128 gigs, I think. So
right, I mean,
space is cheap now.
You can buy, I know you can buy 256, and you can buy 512, but they're like pushing like $250 or something like that. I just checked today.
But just to be clear, those won't be the cartridges or the game cards probably won't be based on SD, but like they'll be whatever some customized thing. But like the storage of the unit itself is we're talking about the console here, right? Yeah. The storage on the unit, the what do you call it, the dev kit was 32 gigs, which is obviously tiny. You can't even fit an game on it. So people are, Nintendo are big fans of the SD card format. They've never actually, since the GameCube, I guess, they haven't forced you to use, some stupid thing like the Vita does, where they make you spend $200 on a 32 megabyte Vita memory card. So
still, one of the things that has scared me away from getting a Vita is those memory cards.
It's stupid. I mean, I'm surprised they're not like SD to Vita, converted cards or something that you can just like put an SD card inside it, shell, and then put it inside your Vita.
Yeah, I totally don't remember how big those Vita ones are. I put it in the Vita the first day and forgot about it. But,
but yeah, so I mean, yeah, how much do these things cost? Has anyone bought a big SD card recently? I think I bought like a 64 gig one.
Well, I literally just about a minute ago, I said I was checking SD card prices today, and I think I looked up 256 and it was a couple $100 or something. Is it that or 512?
Yeah, I got one. I think it's 128. It could be 64, but either way, it was only like $20.
So probably the system itself, the 32 gigs, I would assume that's just for the OS. I don't think you'll be downloading any games onto that. I think they'll 32 gigs for the OS, that seems enough, right? But not for games. So I would assume that all games are going to be stored on SD. And hopefully they give you a generous one to start off with, and then, then you can add more whenever if you need it.
32 gigs.
how are we going to download shit tons of games on 32 gigs?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. They probably are not going to expect you to do that. They're probably gonna. It's going to go straight to the SD, I think.
Yeah, they'll probably do something like I have my Wii U currently set up with my it's a terabyte hard drive just plugged into it, so they'll probably just allow you to do the same thing.
That's another thing I thought of. Like, I mean, even before the reveal, I was thinking about, because we've always known there's been going to be a dock, right, and with USB ports in it. So what I'm assuming that what it's going to be is like, the fridge cleaning that we're all big fans of. I mean, we have to do it on any console, even the Xbox One. You're going to run out of is it 500 you get, Ty, the regular system? Ty is dead. 500 gigs?
Unmute Ty.
Oh, Ty's muted himself.
Oops. Okay, yeah, it depends how old your Xbox is. I think, God, I don't even remember how much mine has. I want to say it's 500 gigs.
Okay,
The
which is
first
like,
one in there, new ones now.
which is like, whatever, 7 to 8 games, right? Like
It's
full-size
a lot.
game. So, yeah, what I'm assuming is that, as I was getting to the point, like Cyrus was saying, you've got your USB hard drive attached to the dock, and then the fridge cleaning will happen automatically. As soon as you dock it in, you can just switch games, on the fly, just, the ones that you don't need off onto the hard drive, and the ones that you want go onto the, the system itself. They really need to stream that, like make it super fast, and I think they're using USB 3 finally. So that should be, super quick. So
a couple of people in the chat are mentioning that 32 gigs for the OS is way crazy estimate. It'll probably be a few gigs of that, and then leaving like 25 gigs for storage.
Yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't have some kind of onboard storage. I mean, yeah, you need something for the
But they
OS,
need to be safe. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, Cyrus, you've got this stupid 8 gig system, right? And
yes, useless.
like when you probably realized that when you updated the Wii U to the latest OS, that 8 gigabytes probably disappeared and turned into 5 gigs quite quickly, right?
Fun story with Disney Infinity. Disney Infinity requires these huge updates because they keep adding more content to it, and you can only save those updates to the Wii U console. So I tried to update Disney Infinity recently, and I didn't have enough room on the entire hard drive. I moved everything to my external hard drive, and I couldn't update Disney Infinity. I had to delete the entire original game, then download the update
that's what I was
at one
thinking.
time.
So yeah, maybe I should have expanded on that. So yeah, you think we're talking OS, we're talking save games, and update data. I think that's what's mainly going to be stored on the system itself, and then the games are going to be on the SD on the SD card. That's my prediction anyway. That's kind of how they were going with the Wii U. So it's kind of like just an extension of that, I think. Is there anything else to talk about with this? Well, the system itself, I mean, it is just a screen, isn't it? You take away the controls. We're going to talk about the controls in a sec, but you take off the controls, it is just like an Android tablet. It's just a very thin, widescreen tablet. It's got the heat exhaust pipes at the top because apparently this thing heats up. And sucks batteries like a motherfucker. Apparently.
Well, I mean, one thing that they mentioned in the press release, they said that it's a high definition screen. They didn't say full HD. They said high definition. So it means the screen's at least 720p resolution.
Yeah, it's 720.
As long as they know what the hell that means, and they're not just saying things. But I mean,
it's weird how they haven't confirmed anything really. I mean, there was like a couple of confirmations that they did, just tiny little things, but. Obviously all the journalists were just throwing all these questions at Nintendo. Does it do this? Does it do this? What does it do? What does this mean? And they ignored all of them, but they did say, things like that. It's got a high definition screen and it's portable. And also about the dock, like once you undock it, the TV will go off.
Yeah, exactly.
And vice versa. That's pretty much all they confirmed. Everything else, it's like, shut up, we're not talking until 2017.
Right. I mean, directly from the press release, they said, by simply lifting Nintendo Switch from the dock, the system will instantly transition to portable mode. So, I mean, this is just saying that if you wanted this to be like Wii U, where you can do stuff like at the same time.
Yeah.
don't think that's going to be possible.
I was a little bit sad about that. Because I didn't click onto that until like maybe a couple of days after. Maybe I rewatched the video, and then the guy playing Zelda, and then when he took it out, the TV went off, and it's like, oh shit, yeah. So like the thing that I love about the Wii U is that I've said this loads of times on the show, like I can stream the audio through the gamepad. So I can watch Netflix with the TV muted and the sound down on the TV, and I can stream all this audio and all the video through the gamepad, and I can plug my headphones into that. That's not going to work on the Switch. So I'm going to have to choose: do I want it on the TV, blasting out, or do I want to have it on the small screen with the headphones in?
You could buy some wireless headphones, but
yeah,
it's still a workaround.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everyone said on Twitter. Is like, buy some Bluetooth headphones, but then I have to buy a Bluetooth transmitter for my TV, I guess, and then a pair of Bluetooth headphones. It's not like the nicest workaround. It's like, oh yeah, please buy all this extra equipment and you'll be fine. But with the Wii U, I didn't need to do that. It was all just part of the system. So.
Right.
But anyway, it's the fact that you can take it anywhere now. It's like we don't have to worry about the range of the the gamepad not working in your toilet,
right?
Cutting out at most inopportune of times. You can go wherever the hell you want with it.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about that.
One thing they brought up in the chat as well, thank you MBZ, I was thinking about earlier today before I even started the show, and it's like, with this being a cartridge-based system, I mean, why not have some of the save data and stuff like that on these carts like themselves as well?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm
set
sure
aside some, like they did with some N64 games, depending on the developer and stuff.
Do they do that with 3DS? They do. Right?
I think it depends on the games sometimes, because sometimes it saves stuff on SD card. Like I'm playing Monster Hunter Stories, and every time you save, it's like, hey, now accessing the SD card. It just maybe depends on the developer.
Yeah, definitely update data goes to the SD card, because like when you're playing Smash, for example, it says do not remove SD card, and you need the SD card to even play the game. I could be wrong on that, but so yeah, it probably something along those lines anyway. But yeah, those 32 gigs on the system will very quickly get used up. I think.
Right.
I mean, the 3DS is pathetic, isn't it? Isn't it like it's just a few megs, isn't it? Like
I don't remember, but it's not. It's terrible. It's not good at all.
Because I remember there was some. Was it the DSi games that have to be on the system itself? Do you remember that? Because of the way the architecture of the DS didn't have. You couldn't save games on the SD card on the DS, so they had to be on the internals thing. So and that kind of for some crazy reason went over to the 3DS.
Yeah.
So that won't happen on the Switch, obviously.
Hopefully. Ty, do you have any, I mean, we're going to move on here to the controller in just a moment, but Ty, I mean, do you have any comments or general impressions about like the console itself? Any of the stuff that...
I don't know if we want to get into it yet, but they have not shown or said if it's a touch screen or not.
Actually, that's another good point too.
It pretty much is. I mean, like, if we go with the rumors and then all the rumors have been confirmed except those kind of things, you might take them as a package kind of thing. So the rumors said, USBs on the dock, touchscreen, 720p screen, switch, controllers that go on the sides, all these things are being confirmed except the touchscreen thing. So it's like, it's a given pretty much, right?
And I think
it'd be the kind of thing they'd show in the trailer. So I mean, I think that was really, really conspicuously missing.
I think they don't want to get sidetracked by touchy-feely bullshit games. They're just like, no, this is a straight-up proper man's console. Don't worry about that. This is not a 3DS. I think that's what they're going for.
Exactly.
Okay,
I mean, they wanted to. I think they wanted to stay kind of consistent in their messaging, because I mean, I was rewatching the Wii U reveal trailer, and it was a mess, man. I mean, they're all over the place.
Oh man, I'm gonna give some comments on that when we get into talking about the trailers.
Okay.
About an hour before the Switch video went live, I rewatched that and I just tweeted out various screenshots from it, just like where they went wrong, number one, where they went wrong, number two, and it was just like, just every 5 seconds, it was like, that didn't happen, that was bullshit, that doesn't make any sense, that's confusing. It was just like every beat of the trailer was just bullshit. And the Switch one was nothing like that.
Right.
Although I did shit myself the first few seconds. I was like, guy in a room looking at TV. I was like, oh fuck, this is the same as the Wii U trailer. But then, you know, after that it got better. So I was like, whew.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and I guess move on to the controller stuff here.
Oh, well,
So-
Danny, before we do that, at the end of each thing, I wanted to go like, what's the kind of the Japan take on this? Because, you know, we are the Famicast, so
sure.
how this would go down in Japan, what, you know, that kind of thing, the Japan take. So,
Sure.
the first thing I thought of was like, you know, the fact that this is like a, you know, you can do the multiplayer thing outside. You know, we saw various things like, you know, playing split screen, 2-player split screen Mario Kart, and what was it, 4-player Splatoon, and
4-player
whatever.
NBA 2K.
4-player NBA 2K, yeah. So like that is just like Monster Hunter. It's just like, oh, gee, this is just Monster. This is the Monster Hunter system. It's a done deal. This has to be the next Monster Hunter console.
And
It's just
like,
perfect.
It's such being able to put down the display and have your controllers separate. That is a huge thing for a portable console.
And you don't even have to do it if you don't want to. I mean, you could just
that's
hold
what's
it.
so good about this. Like, I am going to be raving about the Joy-Cons when we switch over. I think they're amazing.
I mean, yeah, you can use that. You can take your Pro controller with you. You could just take off the side controls and just have the screen, and then just take the Pro controller with you, or you could take the whole thing with you. You know, you could just put your 4 screens together in McDonald's, which is what, you know, the high school kids are going to do,
Right.
and just play all together, like right there. You know, it's going to be incredible, and there's going to be other games that are going to be able to do that as well. You know,
Sure.
for the first time ever. You know, like we saw Splatoon doing that, for example.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a great idea for Japan. I don't know how well it's going to work in the West, but that's the thing about Nintendo. They always have Japan in mind, like sometimes almost first and foremost. You know,
I think that's what I said in the telethon.
like pretty much guaranteed. If you go into like a McDonald's or any of those cafes, just when school is out or during school lunchtime, you'll see a bunch of kids like with their meals, all like playing 3DSs in a circle. There's probably like a Monhan group there, a Smash group in a corner. You'll always see at least one of these little groups.
Mhm.
So
And in the parks as well, right?
in the parks, yeah, just kind of anywhere they can sit down in a circle. So actually having a central display where they can see each other's screens while playing comfortably, that's a really huge thing to be. I would have loads of fun doing that.
I mean, this is pretty exciting. Think about it. If you had the 2-player Mario Kart, right? Like split screen 2-player, because they didn't go mental like do 4-player on that tiny screen. That would be a bit mental. But like, you know, 2-player, you can just about get away with that. You could technically have 8-player Mario Kart, like in a, you know, with four systems, right? You know, you might even be able to go more if you go. I don't know if you can like link 5, 6 systems
Infinite
together.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, you can take off the controllers and just have it as a tablet, I think that's also very cool. So like, you know, when you're on the train, just having the tablet, maybe you can do other things with it. You know, like Ty was saying, you know, he's wondering if it's got a touchscreen. If it does, we think it does. You know, being able to do other stuff on it as just a standalone tablet. You know, maybe play, you know, more, to just touch games or whatever, or do other things. You know, web browsing, whatever you can do.
Right? Like I kind of like to get just a regular tablet, but I'm kind of scared away by the price. So if I could get like a video game console that I could also, you know, watch Netflix, read books, you know, that sort of stuff, that would be fun.
Yeah, they do have book reading, like manga services, and Netflix is obviously on everything, right?
right.
Even the regular old 3DS, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I'm not sure the 3DS is the optimal platform, but
Yeah, not so much.
One thing that does make me kind of wonder about if it has a touchscreen or not is that it would be almost wasteful for any game to use touchscreen controls. Because
Because you've got the
when you
controllers
slot
there.
the thing into the dock,
Right.
you lose touchscreen. So
like
why would
I wasn't saying we should play games with touchscreen. No,
yeah,
it should be-
but this is just in general. Like, if I'm
That's
a
a good
kid,
point. Yeah.
why would I spend the money on putting this system in that is only going to be used maybe half the time?
And also, like, you know, Cyrus, as the only two half decent Splatoon players on this podcast, like, you know, taking away the touchscreen from that, right?
I know. I was going to talk about that in Splatoon section. That's
Because,
a big gameplay switch, so I'm curious.
Yeah, it should be interesting. So, like, yeah, basically no touchscreen games, right? So, and if it's a touchscreen game, you can't dock it, right? If it's a touchscreen game, you have to just play it as a thing.
Portable. So.
Yeah, so it'll say, you'll dock it and it'll say game over because you can't play it anymore, right?
Which, like, if they went that route, like, with certain Xbox Kinect games have like better with Kinect written on them. Would this lead to like Nintendo games with like better handheld, better in dock or something? Like, would they advertise that games are specifically designed for dock play or portable play?
I think the reason why so many like core gamers were so relieved by this trailer was that it is, you clip on the controls. It's like, this is a real goddamn system. It's a tablet, yes, but it's got real motherfucking sticks on it, man. This is a console. This is not a touchscreen bullshit thing with your finger or a stylus. This is like 2 thumbsticks and you're playing Skyrim in the park, or whatever, right? No, Skyrim was at home, I think. But you know what I mean, though. It was no. I think that's why they didn't show the touchscreen.
Yeah,
and they don't want people thinking, oh, is this another 3DS or is this another touchy feely, grandma game thing? It's like,
yeah, no, I 100% totally agree with how they portrayed the console in the trailer. So.
And also, did anyone notice there was no camera? And that was actually a Emily Rogers a rumor that the system. I think she said the system doesn't have a camera or a microphone, but that doesn't mean. I can't remember how she worded it, but that doesn't mean that it won't have one or something like that. But like the system itself doesn't have one, kind of thing.
Right.
And it was totally true. I didn't see any camera on that thing.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about like cameras, when they first put it on the DSi, at the time, yeah, there were cell phones and stuff like that. But I mean, the cameras were, actually, they were better than the DSi camera, which is absolute shit. But,
a camera.
Yeah, but for kids that are getting this thing to play, they're like, oh, cool, I have a camera. And kids are pretty resilient. They do stuff with even stuff that's kind of crap. But, kids had fun with that. Maybe that was like some kids' like first camera. But nowadays...
You're so kind, Danny. Most people say kids are stupid.
But, excuse me. I mean, nowadays, kids are getting like their handheld or their hand-me-down smartphones from their parents from 5 years ago. So, like, that's a better camera than any just afterthought camera that they throw in there. So what the hell is the point?
I think that's another thing where core gamers can kind of, breathe a sigh of relief. It's like, okay, you're not going to be playing Purikura Princess on this thing and taking selfies and, decorating your face with, sparkly makeup because this thing doesn't have a camera and it's not meant for that kind of thing, So if it does have tablety type stuff, it'll just be web browsing and Netflix. I don't think they're going to go for the, photo booths, selfie princess route, which is good.
Absolutely.
Which is only a good thing in my book.
Yeah.
Because no one uses the camera. I mean, the Wii U was the most... I mean, what a waste. I mean, the amount
I
of
honestly forgot the Wii U had a camera in that thing.
Did you know the Wii U gamepad has like a sensor bar, a camera, a mic, gyro, like NFC, headphone, volume slider, like it's got everything in it, but like no one uses most of it, and it was just made it so expensive. Right. That's why they couldn't reduce the cost of the console. So I'm glad that they're getting rid of all of that shite that I'm not going to use.
Yeah, who needs voice chat and video games?
But they're going to have whatever headset, right? So headset support. I mean, things that me and Danny are using right now. Right. That kind of thing is going to be useful.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Would you honestly use a microphone built into a like a system like that over a headset?
Maybe if it was good.
And if it was a Pro controller, the thing would be full of Cheetos in like a week anyway.
Those kind of external microphones just don't work very well. I mean, it's just all like background noise, isn't it? So you've got to have a headset, and hopefully they'll come out with an official headset, and hopefully the Pro has a headset thing this time as well. They need that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of touching on controllers, we
Yeah,
have, I guess,
let's go on.
Let's go ahead and just go on to the controllers. I mean, for the little attachments that go onto the side, they're called Joy-Cons. The one on the left is called Joy-Con L, and then the other one's called Joy-Con R.
I can't wait to play VidCons on my Joy-Con.
Yes.
It sounds like the worst convention ever.
Side note, because the old the SNES controllers were called joypads.
Mhm.
That's what I have always called game controllers since my childhood. Now, I still
Joypads?
call my Xbox controller my joypad.
I just call them controllers, but I mean, maybe that's just me. But
I call them maxi pads.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know. I think until I was 14, I think I was the same as you, Cyrus. Controller, yes. Yeah, so the right side's got a plus on it and the left's got a minus on it.
Right.
And some people thought it was a tiny little D-pad.
Yeah, those are funny Twitter posts.
But no, yeah. And I think there are buttons as well, right? I don't think they're just indentations.
No. It sounds like it's kind of like the plus and minus button that's on the Wii U right now.
Yeah,
it's kind of like a start and select.
Kind of out the way though. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, how often do you use? Well, okay, I don't know. You pause and whatever, right? I mean, it's not like an action type of based thing in a game, right?
Right.
But that's just like my opinion, man.
Could be a start or a select or a home button. Could be anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then there is a home button, on there as well, on the one on the right side.
Yeah, the left one's got a weird square with a circle in the middle, which could be anything.
Yeah,
could be people saying share, or could be the NFC thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, NFC. It's been confirmed. I guess that should have been part of the console thing, but it's been confirmed to have NFC.
Yeah. No idea where or how to do it, but it's gonna work.
Yeah.
So
it's probably behind the screen, to be honest.
That's what I would think too. Yeah. That's what they do with the 3DS. So
right.
Then yeah, like you said, I think you already said this, James. Right? On the yes, the plus side doesn't have like a D-pad. It's kind of like N64 C buttons on there, and mainly for if you're going to actually use this little controller to play, use it as one little teeny tiny baby controller.
That's amazing. Yeah, they actually did that, right? They had proper gaijins using with big hands using these tiny little controls. It looks hilariously adorable / cute / weird at the same time. Two big guys going like this in a car.
Yeah,
I'm playing Mario Kart and my thumbs are touching each other in the middle.
Yeah,
but yeah, basically those C buttons become X, Y, A, B, don't they, when they're turned to the side? So it's not like an NES pad where you've only got a movement and two buttons. You do have the 4 buttons even on the both sides, so which is good.
Right.
Oh yeah, there's a I added this kind of recently. There's a rumor going around. I think this is via the developer that the triggers, that there's 2 shoulder buttons like L and R, and then there's 2 triggers as well, and they're rumored to be analog. So people that's then getting excited, oh, GameCube Virtual Console is coming.
Yeah. Or I mean, just basically like any other modern console now, really.
Yeah, exactly. But it is amazing how they managed to squeeze an analog thing and a shoulder button and 4 buttons and a stick on this tiny little thing that slots on the side.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And obviously they both need charging as well, which is because they come off, right? So they must be powered. So
right, and they both what we have here I don't remember reading this, but they both require batteries, but we don't know if that actually means AA batteries. I sure hope not.
No, it's too thin for that.
Sorry, AAA.
Watch batteries.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean, I would assume it's some kind of lithium rechargeable battery type of thing, because if it's not, that's just silly at this point.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, if I don't have a Vita and never will get one, but if the sticks break or something happens to it, you have to replace the whole system, right?
Right.
I mean, this way, if the battery dies or you screw up your thumbsticks, you just buy some new Joy-Cons.
Right.
No big deal.
Yes.
And we're assuming that they charge with the system. Like you click them in, and then the power comes from the system and charges it at the same time.
That would make sense because I mean, it seems like it would be a bit of a mess if you have to actually hook those into some kind of wires and individually.
Individually.
Yeah, you're charging like that. The Pro controller.
You just got this tray of charging things, just like slotting them all in. It's like Guess Who, if you ever played that.
Right.
No, that probably won't happen. But the stupid boat thing for the 3DS that added the extra stick on.
Oh,
that had like a tiny little battery in it, and it actually was connected via infrared.
Yep.
I was kind of like, for one second, I thought, oh shit, I hope they don't do that with those. I don't have to replace the batteries.
AAA batteries, dog.
AAA watch batteries.
Yeah. Moving on here too, as everybody knows by now, they slide, off of the console. But yeah, the thing I think looks actually pretty cool, the Joy-Con grip, the little thingy that it's kind of like after you pull them off of the system itself, then you can put them on this little Joy-Con grip, and it kind of resembles kind of like a Wavebird in a way. It looks like
people are saying Wavebird or Dreamcast,
but like Dreamcast. The back looks a little bit more kind of like GameCube-y and stuff. You can kind of see it like from the side.
Yeah, it's a little bit more together though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't look. I mean, even the Dreamcast. Maybe you're thinking in your head, "Oh my God, it's it's like you're playing with an egg or something." But
or the Duke, the Xbox Duke.
Well, that's like you're playing with your hand. Basically, it's wider than your head. But
right. But it's funny because like when the rumors came out that the controllers were detachable but can be put together, people were imagining these kind of like two little controllers really close together. So I guess they've invented this grip, which is sold separately. Your parents help you set it up. That it's got a battery pack in the middle, and it's got lights on. If it's in the reveal trailer, and they actually released a promotional picture of it, like a nice rendering of it. So yeah, basically you slot those in, and it charges it. So obviously you can play for longer, and you don't have to buy the Pro controller if you don't want to. I'm going to be assuming the Pro is going to be like a little bit more expensive, and this grip thing is going to be a little bit cheaper. So whatever you want to do.
Did they specifically say that the Joy-Con grip isn't going to come with it, or did?
Yeah. I've read that is an additional thing, I think. And
seems like that would be kind of silly, because how the hell else are you going to play at home, like out of the box?
That's a good point.
So I don't see there's
maybe. Is anyone in the chat confirming it or saying anything or telling me I'm an idiot?
No. No, I mean, this is the time when a game console just gets announced where everybody's just saying a bunch of different things. You know what I mean? And it's like we don't know what's true or not at this point. Well, aside from
it definitely comes with a dock. Yeah, it definitely comes with a dock. So they're expecting to dock it. And if you actually, no, Danny, think about it. On the plane, what was the dude doing? The plane, the guy had it in each hand, and he was just doing it like a Wii pointer and nunchuck type situation, wasn't he?
Yeah, good point.
And which actually to me looks comfortable, because like I actually liked it on the Wii, where you could just kind of relax your hands on your lap, on one on each knee, and just like play Galaxy with hands on each side. Because when you got a regular controller, you always have to be in this position, and you always have to be a little bit upright, and a little bit
could just like lean back like a slob and just kind of have it resting on your legs.
That's how I do it.
That's what I do too.
But your hands don't naturally go together when you go like that. When you slouch, when I slouch, my hands kind of go.
I'm slouching right now, and I have both my hands together. Counterpoint.
Yes, but let's not go into that because it's a video show.
Let me get the close up here.
No, thanks. So yeah, I think that's how they're going to want you to play it. So like you can play it. They're both wireless. You got no problems there. And also on that point, Danny I think this was like last night, actually. This is another kind of, people are discovering all sorts of stuff from just this 3-minute video. On the underside of the plus controller, the plus side, the right side, there was a little infrared window. So people are assuming that you can turn it around and actually has it as a pointer. Or, like a Wii remote type situation.
Sure.
So, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how that would work.
Not to show off at the reveal trailer, because then people will just freak out and say it's
because there were quite a lot of configurations in that, because they had the controller people slotted into the controller, taking out having it in different hands, and then putting it into the grip, and then the Pro controller, and there was quite a lot of configurations to kind of absorb in that one video. So I think
it's
a
funny,
fourth one.
I don't think I've ever heard of a console that had to deliberately hide some of its features in the launch trailer just to not scare everyone off the thing.
Well, they should have done that for Wii U, but they didn't, and that was the problem. It's like too many things going on. So what else? We talked about the cradle. It's called the Joy-Con grip, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's the middle thing with no actual features on it.
And that looks like a little dog, a little cute puppy.
I love the puppy. Oh my god, I want that puppy. I want them to release a Rob version 2, but it's a puppy.
Japan went crazy with that, didn't they? Within hours of the trailer.
I think it was literally within 30 minutes of the trailer going up, someone had drawn the dog, and that was shared. It's got 10,000 shares now. That one original picture.
Yeah, is it called Switch-kun? Probably. What else have we got? Switch Pro. Looks exactly like an Xbox controller now.
right.
Ty, is the Xbox one? Is it semi-transparent, like the black plastic, like you can see slightly through it?
I don't think so. It's glossy on the front, but you can't really see through it.
Okay, I always thought there was an Xbox controller that had semi-transparent black.
Could have been
gray.
Different editions and stuff like that.
Yeah, it kind of looks like one of those. If you look on the video, you can actually see. I think it's the Splatoon bit when they show the Pro up close, and you can kind of see
slightly transparent,
or a different one. All right, this is the launch Xbox One controller.
That one looks pretty jet black, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's black. It's just straight up.
Maybe it was one of the, like Danny said, maybe it was a special edition or something like that I'm thinking about. But yeah, anyway, it's kind of like that one. So yeah, basically it's like a Wii U Pro, but it's been redone, and the stick is now, well, Ty would say, the stick's now in the right place.
Wow,
that's right.
James, I mean, Jesus Christ. It's so weird going from every other game controller to the Wii U where everything's on top. And, granted, yeah, you play it long enough, you just get used to it. I mean, Jesus, I played a lot of Xenoblade and got used to it and stuff. But even oddly enough, I got so used to playing on the gamepad, then I went back to a PS4 controller. I was like, well, this is weird. But
man, I played so much Monster Hunter Freedom Unite 2. I got the PSP claw, and then playing any other consoles, my hands don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And also, this does have a D-pad, unlike the regular right side of the regular Switch.
Right.
So it has a regular ass D-pad. So I guess if you want to play, retro games or whatever with a D-pad, you'll need the Pro.
Right.
Or you can use those C buttons, I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah. Actually, Danny, you were saying the Famicom Mini, the tiny little controllers.
Yes.
I mean, it was funny because that was announced, and then a week later, this revealed, and it's which is the smallest controller, the Switch ones when you take them off, or the Famicom Mini?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I took a screenshot of the Famicom Mini controller in somebody's hands, and then tried to get as close up as I could of the Switch Mini controllers, and it looks like they're almost the same size.
I'm telling you, man, they released the Famicom Mini. It's people are going to freak out about these tiny controllers. We got to get them used to using tiny controllers first.
At
so
least
they
in
released
Japan.
this.
Right.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I can understand how this works. And then now everyone's cool. Everyone loves tiny controllers.
There it is.
There is one problem with that, though. The Famicom Mini is aimed at Japanese people and is only sold in Japan. The Switch is a universal global product that will be used
James, this is a Nintendo console.
with big fat people. That's what they're selling it to as well, right? So
no, only trendy people. Trendy people have small hands.
Yeah.
No fatties. That's on the box. Yeah. We'll see. I don't think many Westerners are going to be using the tiny little ones for
like the tiny
multiplayer.
controllers. That is clearly something that like they came upon halfway through development. They're like, hey, we could make this 2 small controllers and have local co-op using 2 controllers. I doubt that was mission statement from the start. It's like, we want smaller controllers this time.
Right. You could see something like that working out good for kids and stuff too. That's like a cheap way. Well, it's like basically, hey, you bought this console and you have 2 controllers. You can play maybe some kind of basic games with this thing with your family.
I actually think that is the single greatest part of the entire console, is that you can play co-op. You can play 2-player Mario Kart on a single console anywhere. That is absolutely goddamn amazing.
This is the first time, since the original Famicom, where a Nintendo system has come with 2 controllers.
And just the fact that I can go, like I said, go to McDonald's and I'm just eating whatever with someone and go, hey, you want to play Mario Kart? And then throw this thing on the table, give each player half a controller. Like, that is amazing.
Half a controller. It's like, where's my other half? Excuse me. Yeah, as you sit down with the Pro and you give him a tiny little one. That's fair.
And again, like this is like coming from, I have an older brother, so my older brother always got the better controller. Now that spreads to 3-person families, where the older brother gets the cool Pro controller, and then his 2 younger brothers gets crappy half controllers to play. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, Smash Brothers on a tiny little screen.
Yeah, but even that, like,
you won't be able to see your character.
Yeah, but that's the same with Smash already. But you could just do like that. That in itself is cool. Like, if I could just go to a random place with someone, and go, hey, you want to play a quick game of crappy tiny controller Smash? That would be.
Yeah, at least you get
I play Street Fighter 4 on the 3DS. I can fucking play Smash on tiny controllers.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
So I think Japan are going to love this for multiplayer, those 2 controllers. And also another thing Sarah was talking about, 30 minutes after the reveal trailer, maybe 35 minutes after the reveal trailer, people were doing mock-ups of other controllers to slot in. Do you see those ones? Like, there was a GameCube one. There was like a
awesome
Yokai Watch tourney one. Like I don't know. I don't play Yokai Watch, but there's something you can spin, right?
On the touchscreen, there's like a little thingy that you have to fiddle around with.
They designed like a spinny controller and a fishing rod one, or Resident Evil gun controller, and all these other kind of things, which is brilliant. So imagine that GameCube slot in.
Yeah. That's super cool. That's a super cool idea.
So you don't need to make a Smash controller. You just make Smash Joy-Cons. But even if Nintendo don't do that, sure as hell third parties are going to do that.
Yeah.
And definitely. I don't know if you mentioned it before while I was gone. I heard a lot of people complaining that sliding your controllers in and out that's definitely going to break the rails or whatever. They'll break really quick.
How does that even work? Because like the guy in his apartment, he kind of slammed them down and then in one motion pulled the whole system up on the weight of the grips, right?
There's got to be some kind of lock.
It's got to be like a magnet and a lock, right? So how do you unlock them?
Have you ever played the game Gunvolt? Not Gunvolt, Gunslinger Stratos in the arcades here?
No.
It's a shooting game like House of the Dead. You've got light guns, and the 2 big, really heavy light guns, and you can dual wheel, shoot both of the screen at the same time. Nice. But each gun also has a rail on the top, so you can slide the guns together and they lock into place, and that becomes like a sniper rifle. Or you can slide the guns sideways into each other and it becomes a shotgun. And so like these are in game centers, and they've got these heavy duty guns that are like. So companies have been using rails pretty regularly in game centers now. So I think that's not a technology I'm worried about. I think they've figured out how to do that. Gunslinger Stratos is a weird game. I encourage everyone to look it up to know what the hell I'm talking about. But either way, I'm not worried about them breaking controllers by sliding them in and out on these things.
Yeah, I mean, if like I think James, you mentioned earlier, if anything were to break, it might be the Joy-Con. Like maybe some kind of a little clip on them or something breaks, and then if those don't look like it would, hoping they won't be like that expensive to replace. Maybe it's something like you said. If they're releasing different versions of these things, surely there would also be like replacement ones that you can buy as well. You know, hopefully
well,
for $20.
Even if they are, even if you don't want to cough up the beans to replace them, you don't even need to. You just fuck it, throw them in the bin, just keep using your Pro.
Or right? Just don't ever hook them onto the screen. You can still use them.
Yeah, just use your Pro until you've saved up enough money to replace your Joy-Cons. That's what I mean. Like, you don't need it. It's not like if it's not going to say error Joy-Cons not found. It's like you don't need the Joy-Cons. It's like that's just one way to control it, which is very, very clever. I mean, this is obviously they've spent years in R&D to do this. I mean, it's just genius how they've managed to do these slot-on controllers with all the buttons and everything on it, and not be too big or too small or too fat. It's amazing how they've done it. I mean, people have tried. There are those what are they called? Those kind of like, there's another Tegra-based kind of system, isn't there? Like PC-based.
NVIDIA Shield?
That's the one, yeah. And that looks like an ugly piece of shit, and breaks, overheats, and sets fire to your dog. But these are.
Is that like an advertised feature, or is that
yeah. Samsung helped them
advertise
it. Yeah, Samsung helped them design it. Too soon. Too soon.
So, and one problem that I have heard being brought up, again, if you mentioned this, apologies, but like, if I've got a house full of kids and I got one of these consoles, I am never going to see those controllers again. They are gone. They're like, I'm going to wake up and I'll be like, yo, I'm missing one of my socks. And then my wife would be just like, yo, you think it's bad? I can't find one of my fucking Joy-Cons. And they're both gone.
Just take them off and hide them in a high cupboard. Right? Just leave the screen charging.
That's what you'd think. It's going to be too late, though.
Your children are too young to understand how that will never work. They will find your stash. And
my Wii U. No. My Wii U is next to the TV, visible to all, but the controllers and everything are above the TV in a cupboard, which is like 1.5 meters off the ground, which my son could never hope to reach.
I'll tell you, I mean, when I was in 4th grade, my mom used to try to hide like cookies and stuff in like the high cabinet. What you do, you climb up on top of the counter and you go get them.
Word.
Okay, good.
What we're telling you is that your plan is full of holes, and your children will destroy everything you love.
Well, that's true enough, but I will try my best to prevent that, dark day. So, are there any other more Japan takes? I mean, like fighting game Joy-Cons, could that exist?
Yeah, like
Stick
I want
half of an arcade controller on the side of it.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, like what if I don't want to use a gamepad? What if I want to use, a big arcade stick or some cool giant third-party light gun or whatever?
Is that they have to be wired, right?
I think they wouldn't have to be, but yeah, I think that would be ideal.
I don't see how it would be wired. I mean,
plug into the USB on the base.
Yeah, would that even support controllers?
Don't know.
Well, it's got 2 right at the front, so it looks like it is for that kind of thing. But like, but like on the go, you wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to take your Switch to Final Round Bats and use the tiny screen. The tiny screen. Yeah,
you'd
have to have a dock. Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the cool thing, though. I mean, actually, yeah, they were talking about this on 8.4. They were talking about. I think they were talking about it in the context of esports and Splatoon, because that's what it was in the video. But like, you could also see that as a fighting game thing. Like, instead of having, you could take your own Switch with you and dock it at the fighting game tournament, and that would have your profile and everything all set up on it, right? Because you'd be actually using your own system.
Or they can just do some kind of online infrastructure where you can just log in and have all of your information there too.
Yeah.
Both of those sound terrible, actually.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You saw the video though, right? When they went to the stadium and then they just
Yeah, that told me nothing. That was so if you're running a competitive video game event, I don't think all X amount of people want to bring their own console. Like, especially since that would create setup time. You want people to just come in like real quick, get on the console, play your match, get out because we're on a schedule here. And
actually, no, that wouldn't work, would it? Because for a multiplayer game, like the Switch is the console. That's the kind of crazy thing to get your head around, isn't it? Like that is the Xbox One. The Switch is the Xbox One.
Right. And
so you don't buy two Xbox Ones to do multiplayer, do you?
Right.
In the same room.
And I imagine, you don't want to be messing with, plugging the system in, booting it up, all that stuff because, on a tournament, right. You're on a schedule. You don't want to set up a profile. You don't want to do any of that stuff. You just want to get in, maybe set your buttons at most, play the match.
Well, ideally with the Switch though, you can if you bring your system, you just plug it into the dock and you're theoretically ready to go.
But what about the other guy?
Well, he's shit out of luck.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have two systems. You have two docks, two systems linked up to the same TV, wouldn't you? So it'd have to be like a LAN type situation then, wouldn't it?
Okay, bad idea. Yeah.
Oh man, talk about a nightmare.
Yeah.
Trying to set up network stuff in a tournament
where everyone is dropping in their after. Don't cry, Ty. Don't cry. But
yeah, and I mean, I imagine they're going to come out with a new Smash Brothers in a couple of years.
I think it's going to be an updated Wii U version, isn't it? It's just going to be all the DLC.
Yeah,
we're going to talk. We're going to talk about games later. But I think what it would be good for fighting game tournaments is practice, because you can take your console with you and practice on your own console, right? You could even play against other people, in practice, and before you go to the main event, right?
That's actually a good point. I would give you a lot of props for that. That's true. Sometimes an idea for some new tactic or technical thing will just pop into your head, at work, at school, on the bus, in the shower, and you can't wait to just try that out.
Right, and you'd have to ask some sweaty nerd if I can, borrow your TV or play against you on his system. You can just whip it out your bag and you've got it there already.
Right.
I think Capcom are one of the third parties, right? So
yeah.
We might see a Street Fighter V port, later or something.
I don't think so.
So should we move on to games then, since we're kind of talking about games already?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So just briefly, we'll kind of open up on this one.
What we saw. Let's start with what we saw. Yeah.
No. Yeah. So basically the big one that we kind of have listed here first is, there is a new 3D Mario that was shown off during this thing. And, all of you guys out there have seen this now. So it's, there's kind of like a Mexican Day of the Dead type of a theme going on, but there's still, bullet bills, triple jumps are back. That's pretty cool. And then in that part of the video too, the girl was going over to her friend's barbecue on the roof because
that was weird.
Come over.
I think this might have been Nintendo voice chat, but somebody said that really worried them because it was the only way that the friends could beckon the other friend over to play was by shouting through a window. And it's kind of proof that Nintendo still got their online shit together. It's hey, darling, you want to play some Mario? What? Why aren't you sending friend requests on the system or on their mobile phone, right? not yelling through a window. Also, she was a fucking Jedi, that woman. She kind of I can sense my friend is having a barbecue.
Yeah.
Let me walk over to the window. Oh, yes, there she is.
And then her friends happen to be looking at the window at the exact time she went to it, too. That's weird, right?
That's right.
Maybe it wasn't shown that they all sent her a message on her integrated My Nintendo account on the on the system, and she's hey, look out your window, girl.
Maybe it popped up, Maybe it popped up on their screen, Look
that's
out the
version.
window.
That's version 2 of the NS trailer thing. So
that's right. It was in an apartment that apparently according to Americans, that she could never afford at her age in San Francisco. But anyway, games, Mario looks good. Looks like Mario 64. Very exciting.
I love me a Day of the Dead aesthetic. I can't get enough of that. Everyone, go watch Book of Life. That's a beautiful movie.
El Mario. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Hola, gringo.
That's right.
I
But
thought
it's
it looked
Italian,
a lot like.
it doesn't make any sense.
I thought it looked a
He's
lot like.
Mexican now.
Right. Maybe it's his brother. Maybe it's not actually Mario.
Yes. I thought it looked a lot like Mario 3D World in terms of a lot of the visual stuff.
No. I don't think it did. The camera was Mario 64 because Mario 3D World is that kind of high third quarter angle, and this was like really way low down, like like a. It looked like you could control the camera.
Okay.
Like I don't want to say the S word, but it's like it could also be like that game that that lets you use the control stick. Sunshine.
Oh, okay. Oh, come on. It wasn't that bad. I like that game.
Was 3D Mario. But anyway, but the camera was all right, I guess. But yeah, that's why I went for Mario 64. So I didn't have to say the S word. But it looks good. And IGN did a rewind thing and they noticed these kind of crystal things that on the side of the level, which looked like could unlock something or other parts of the level. I didn't even notice that the first time. Yeah. Pokies.
They're back. Pointed out on that was when she's like looking, she's just after yanking her Switch out of the dock, and she's looking down at it. That they've like digitally put the video screen onto the video. It's like
Cyrus, be of no doubt. Cyrus, be of no doubt. Every single game you saw in that trailer was bullshit. It was a video sent by Japanese people by fax. It arrived in San Francisco, but to a movie production company in America, and they had whatever, like 6, MPEG clips or whatever that they arrived by fax machine, and then they were digitally added later, or maybe it was just a video playing on a dummy system. But do you think they were going to let real life Switches into the hands of some gaijins at a movie production company in America? Hell no. Of course not. That would have been leaked in like 5 seconds, Right. So yeah, of course that was all fake, but it was nicely done. Fake.
Yeah.
Fake.
Yeah.
So are we talking about games now?
Yes.
So and also Mario could be multiplayer? ? Because
she started playing multiplayer at the party.
Yeah, because she had Mario, and then she carried it over, and then she gave the controller to her friends. So
she could have just been playing a one-player stage and said, "Hey, here you go."
Yeah. Maybe the other person's doing the pointer, collecting the star bits.
Maybe she was letting the friend play, and it's like, "Oh yeah, you're totally playing. You're doing so well. Oh my god!" And she's just like actually secretly playing it over her shoulder, pretty good about herself.
It was kind of freaky how they managed to go through the whole trailer with no one speaking. Everything was done by gestures or a gentle touch on the shoulder or a high five, because it was like a global video, I mean, I watched the Japan stream, but it didn't really matter because, it was the same in every country. It was like, I am your friend. Gentle touch on the shoulder. Thank you. Thank you, friend.
Nothing offensive in this video.
Yeah. We look at my racial friends I have on my barbecue roof party.
Yeah.
Please do enjoy. What's the next game?
Next one was the first one actually that you see in the trailer itself, and that's Zelda Beasts of the Southern Wild.
Yep. And also an hour before the Switch video, NCL accidentally leaked like 3 or 4 Zelda videos on their YouTube channel, which they hadn't even titled properly. One was called like Weather, all in lowercase.
Yeah, and that weather video, by the way, is super beautiful. Man, that game is a pretty game.
That's right. People are speculating whether that was running on the Switch because it looked like, slightly better than the E3 demo, which was Wii U, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, Zelda, new boss, the Moblin boss, I think it was, giant Moblin boss.
Right.
which Pierre on IGN said that's based on a Link's Awakening boss.
Yeah, I'd heard that too. I don't remember that.
I don't
Link's
remember
Awakening.
But yeah, Zelda.
You know, yeah, it's in a Zelda game.
Playing a Zelda in the park while ignoring his dog.
Yeah.
I tell you.
That
I
part
tell
of the
you what.
ad, man, that annoyed me so much. They had me. It's like, oh man, this is a cool looking that goddamn dog.
Tell you what, if I'd taken my fucking dog to the park and started playing Zelda, he would have been off like a fucking ferret. I wouldn't have seen him. He was like, let me just take the collar off while I play Zelda. No, he wouldn't have come back.
If I saw someone bring their dog to the park and sit down and play in their fucking NX, I'd beat the shit out of that guy. I'd be like, yo, go play with your dog, you piece of shit. This could have been, I can't remember who, it could have been someone on staff pointed out that the fact that this guy is actually playing Zelda until dawn. it was actually insinuating he'd playing it all night, and the dog woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and then went to the park at dawn because the sun was rising and there no one was around. Did anyone else notice that? No, but I like look at the guy who was in the airport who was like playing in his apartment at home, and he was playing in the airport. Then he was playing on the airplane. Then he got home, and first thing he does is put Skyrim back in his apartment. This guy is like transcontinental playing the same game.
Right.
Into his second apartment. It's like, what fantasy world is this? It's like, and also the battery wouldn't have lasted that long, would it? Unless it was like it was just a domestic flight, half an hour flight or something.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, but check in. It's gonna take whatever. It even hooks up with a hot girl at the airport and check in. Jesus Christ, who is this guy?
I want to switch right now. It sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah, everyone wants to switch lives with that guy.
Can this guy not afford a PC? What's going on here?
He's a fucking player. That's who he is, that guy. Just strolls in to the airport, picks up women, gets in the airplane, plays Zelda, probably completed it. Is that kind of guy. He can finish the whole game. It's a 100-hour game, finishes it on one domestic flight.
Pro speed runner.
Yep.
A high-speed lifestyle.
And the amount of space that guy had in economy class, I want to fly that airlines in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a guy asleep next to him. He wasn't interested in Zelda. He was like, fuck that. I'd rather sleep.
That was me.
And see this brand new prototype console that no one in the world has seen.
How did they get that video of me?
Found you, dude.
I think it was an African American dude. So I don't know how you would have managed that.
South African?
Yeah, that's me.
I guess moving on to the next game.
Let's move on.
Well, we're trying to tell you here, there wasn't a whole lot of new Zelda stuff there.
Right.
But he
another
play
game
with the nunchuck style, like two separate controllers, like we mentioned.
Oh yeah, that was when they first showed the stand built into the back of the machine.
Right. Yeah, which looks like it would snap off within seconds.
With seconds.
Fly off that train at the speed of light at the first sign of turbulence.
That's right. I think I had an alarm clock in the 90s that kind of did that. And I think I did snap off the little leg. But anyway.
Good job.
Rest in peace, Casio alarm clock from the 1990s.
Right.
So NBA?
Yeah. So it looks, as you guys saw in the trailer as well, other than maybe drink a Zima after you play a hard game of basketball,
Yeah.
I mean, the second go-to after that is we need to play a basketball video game on teeny tiny screens with teeny tiny controllers.
It's like Ty was saying, you're in the middle of a tournament and you're like, oh man, I got to try out this new tech right now. So you bust out your Switch and you're like, yeah, let's try out this new technique, guys. And
is there a competitive scene for NBA? I don't know.
Yeah, it's fairly popular online. And
I think NBA is a competitive environment. Yes, it's
yeah, the actual NBA is, believe it or not.
The actual NBA, sure. But okay, so people who enjoy playing EA NBA 2K, will they play it on the Wii? I mean, the Switch?
Yeah, and that's
skeptical.
Yeah,
Same
that's a
thing.
good question. And then, I mean, even and this is allegedly probably NBA 2K something or other, whatever the hell it would be. But then a lot of these companies, aside from the Nintendo, everything, nobody's really said or confirmed anything, any of this stuff.
Right.
maybe they just gave them their blessing and just said like, yeah, go ahead and use our shit. This is
Sure,
maybe like conceptually so people can get it.
Danny, is this the game that you play on PS4?
I did play until I won the championship, after 150 hours, 2 seasons, many bouts of screaming at the television.
Danny, I just wanted a yes or no, not your life story.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I played
That's all I care about.
NBA 2K17, that prologue a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then I decided it wasn't for me.
Good call.
I don't think I have ever played an NBA game.
I played Courtside. Was that 64 or Cube?
Yeah, 64. And they had one in Courtside,
Okay.
or GameCube as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they need NBA Jam. That would be great for like local game, because you only need 2 buttons anyway, don't you?
Right.
2 or 3, I forget.
Let's see, shoot, pass, and turbo. You need 3.
Hey, they had it
Go for
on. Well, I had NBA Jam on Game Gear. I mean, that's 2 buttons and the start button, right?
The stop button, Jesus Christ.
Which I think you had to use that for turbo. It was really weird.
Yeah, and if you were playing Mortal Kombat, you probably had to use it for block.
Or if you're playing Street Fighter, you had to press it to switch between punch and hit.
That's the worst.
Hashtag never forget. So yeah, NBA.
Yep.
It is pretty cool to see NBA like they're showing, hey, we're gonna have sports games on the console. I think that was a good choice showing that in the trailer.
Well, okay, maybe to go off on a little bit of a tangent about sports stuff, that's something I think that EA maybe actually said or they didn't say. I don't really know. Because I forgot. I heard it earlier today. But basically, like, they had some kind of a conversation with Nintendo saying, like, look, I mean, if you're a sports fan, what the hell is the point of having a Nintendo system? I mean, not only can you not watch any of the sports on this system, I mean, well, that's a big draw, I think, too. And then, what kind of people are, since you can't even watch these sports on the system, why the hell would I want to get a sports game on here or something, too?
Is that why people buy systems? Like, I want to watch it and play it on the same thing?
Nowadays, maybe.
Well, definitely being able to watch stuff on a system is a huge draw for a lot of people. I don't think I've used my PlayStation aside as a DVD player in a long time.
I use it to watch NFL. I use it to watch, American football, baseball, lots of stuff like that, man.
It's weird how they didn't choose a football/soccer game, because that would have appealed to 70 to 80% of the world instead of 5%.
It's because the J League just started up in Japan, the new basketball league.
Yeah, I mean, I do actually like basketball more than football to play. So I'm not saying on my behalf. I'm just saying in general, like a FIFA game might have had more impact. But like, yeah, it is. I mean, is it EA, Danny, who makes that NBA game?
2K.
2K, right? That would make sense. What's the EA basketball game?
Well, I don't even know if they've done one for a little while. It's called NBA Live. But
right, good point. Oh yeah, they stopped doing those, didn't they?
Yeah, they took a brief pause on the series a few years back.
Okay, so it's interesting that it's 2K, which is I don't think they've done Nintendo games for a while, right?
Nah, they did a lot of stuff on Wii. I mean,
well, everyone did.
Yeah. But I guess moving on. Obviously, one of the other. Yeah. Mario Kart was another thing that was shown up as well.
I mean, 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, you're just like, oh, it's just the Wii U version, and yeah, it does look pretty.
Which is an amazing game, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I saw it. They're playing vertical split screen, and I'm just like, in the trash it goes.
Oh yeah, because like horizontal would have made more sense than that tiny screen.
It
always makes more sense.
It always makes more sense.
Oh,
also, the chat informs us that NBA 2K13 was a Wii U launch title.
Oh, wow, Jesus, not in Japan.
Wow,
Thank you, Pikmin Rock 1.
4 years later, we got another one. It's amazing, going from 13 to 17 on a Nintendo system.
There we go.
So yeah, people / me are calling this Mario Kart 8.5 because yeah, it's basically like a patch, a fix for Mario Kart 8, isn't it? You got 2 items, you've got new characters, and not new levels. Well, a new stage wasn't shown, at least anyway. It was a DLC from Mario Kart 8, the Yoshi circuit.
Most important question: will there be pink, gold, Daisy in this one? Pink Gold Baby Peach.
Most no, no, no,
Excuse me, it's Pink Gold Metal Waluigi.
I'm going for Tyless Donkey Kong. But like, I think
Naked Donkey Kong, I believe, is
the
the
most
official term.
the most important question is, have they fixed battle mode? Because well, the only complaints I had for Mario Kart 8 were the two items, not having two items and not having battle mode. I mean, they have battle mode, but it's not battle mode.
Right.
It's on it. I mean, Sai, do you know about this?
Not at all.
Battle mode is played on regular race courses.
Oh, that's not a bad idea at all. It's a terrible idea.
It's I haven't played it once.
Actually, I haven't. Yeah, me neither.
I just refuse to even play it.
I played a little bit, but Mario Kart 8 was one of the few Wii games or Wii U games I played a lot, and I hate it more than anything.
Was it just the visual part of it that?
No, the game is absolutely beautiful. Like, I wish every game looked like Mario Kart 8. It's just they made so many design mistakes, and I'm wondering, like, who's designing their games anymore?
So this 8.5 patch might actually convince people who, like Ty, to actually play it. No, okay.
No, that was like the worst part of the whole trailer for me. It's just that it's like they haven't learned a damn thing.
200cc F-Zero tracks in the F-Zero car. It's freaking mental. It's the closest you're going to get to an F-Zero game. 200. Have you seen 200cc?
I've watched one of the Irish guys, Light Hero. He plays
stupid.
It's bonkers.
It's just stupid. It basically breaks the game because like every jump, it's suicide, or you just skip half of the level. It's just ridiculous, but in a good way. And if you play the F-Zero, zero grab stages, it's fantastic. But yeah, there's two new characters, King Boo and Dry Bones was noticed on the little map thing. So at least two new characters.
It's hard. As hard as I looked for the 2 minutes, I was looking at it, like just really staring at it. I was like, "Is that a Dry Bones?" It looked like Mario to me.
Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, people are speculating that this is basically, all the DLC with more characters and a few touches here and there. Which
I have kind of a feeling will be a recurring theme with launch or close to launch titles for the NX, which is not a bad thing. I'm fine with.
I'm sure if you bought it on the Wii U, it'll carry over.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, isn't it? I mean, ideally, that's what you'd want, isn't it? But that's not what Nintendo are going to do. But this is maybe for people like Cyrus who they had a Wii U but they didn't have Mario Kart 8, or for 99% of the world's population who don't have a Wii U or know what a Wii U is, and the first time to play it, because it's a good game, and if they make these fixes, it'd be amazing.
I take issue with that. It's not a good game.
It's got some great stages. I mean, yeah, there are some design choices that are iffy, but still a good game. What is Cyrus? What did you want to say something about this two-player thing?
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, that's just what I mentioned earlier with the controller. When just seeing two people playing Mario Kart on the console, I think is the thing that excites me most about the entire console. Is just being able to play two-player co-op on a single console. That's amazing.
Did you notice that in the car, when those two guys were playing in the car, they had like an attachment in the car? It was like a screen holder.
Something they slid into it, yeah.
And just the tablet screen fits in.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I mean, it looks like that's something they could easily sell, at launch.
Right.
If they want to advertise this as like a home not home, like a car entertainment option as well. That would be pretty
Japanese cars love having screens in the back of their things. So
yeah, that's the thing. Ironically, they already have it. So if anything, you need a dock.
Yeah, here's one you could actually do something with, other than look at the
shitty Japanese TV.
That too, yeah.
And fuzzy Japanese TV.
Exactly.
Next game is Splatoon.
Right.
And it's not. It's like an updated version of the Wii U one, right? Because it's got hair.
Confirmed, but
You can change the hair.
yeah, and like we said with the dog getting like the dog controller getting art within 30 minutes. This was like 10 to 20 seconds tops. There was fan art of its hair. This is like, even I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, fuck the rest of this trailer. We got new hairstyles. I am hype.
Yeah, and there was also a new level, which is not in the Wii U one.
Yeah.
So, which maybe that was just to show that fact that this is, a sequel or I don't know what you would call it, like a
1.5
remix, redux, remastered, which is kind of like a trend, apart from Mario. Well, Splatoon and Mario Kart, at least.
Skyrim
and, well, NBA's, I guess, it's a new game. They're all like, remasters or, updates.
Which I kind of think is fine because they have these great games that no one played on the Wii U. So why not?
They don't need to worry about that, don't they? It's not like, people are not going to double dip. People are not double dipping. This is one dipping because no one plays the Wii U.
Right.
So they don't need to worry about that as much. I mean, like, what could you say? Like from the Wii, maybe from what to what? Like DS to 3DS, I guess. Maybe there were some games where people might not want to buy twice, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head, actually. When I think about it. But let's just say any console where it's been successful. Well, okay, maybe PS3 to PS4. I mean, like the remasters. There was a hell of a lot of remasters on PS4.
Yeah,
and people are like, well, I just played it on PS3. Do I need to buy the remaster for like $60? But people are not going to think about that with Wii U. It's oh, cool, I heard about that. My friend Danny, like that weirdo with the Wii U.
Yeah.
He always talks about that game. Maybe I'll get it on Switch and I can play it. And it'll be a better version. So, local 4-player. Local 4-player.
Local 4-player. Bring all your friends over. Play that. That's dynamite. That's good stuff.
Do you notice the American and the Japan team?
The American one had a girl on it.
Yeah, exactly. which is not fair because Japan has a lot of female Splatoon players. They were very, very good. Mm-hmm. And I know at least 3 actually.
Or is it just their avatars or actually like girls?
Well, the girls that I know are actual girls. But
okay.
I can't talk for the other ones online, yes. Okay. Good point. Yeah.
But the other thing, we mentioned this briefly, is that Splatoon heavily uses the touchpad in the Wii U.
And gyro as well.
Yeah, like you use the gyro to look around, you use the mini-map to check how much of the map you currently own, where enemies are. You tap on it to use certain like ink strikes and stuff. So there's quite a lot of integration with the touchpad that will go away if you don't have the access to it.
New Joy-Cons, new buttons, boom.
Yeah, Joy-Con attachment, which adds a second screen.
Yes.
No, yeah, I mean,
they can get away with it pretty quick. Just have a button that brings up a toggle mini map that you can see at all times.
Well, do you know this thing called marketing, Danny, or PR speak? It's another way of describing it is complete bullshit or talking at your ass. So when people say you need this to play this, or this can only be played on this, it's complete utter shite. Because Zombie U, for example, this can only be played on Wii U. 3 years later, it's on Xbox right now.
Why was this being addressed?
Rayman Legends. This is lead platform Wii U. It's this is like touchscreen only game. You can't be played. PS3 version comes out.
Sure, yeah.
It's all bullshit. So, yes, Splatoon heavily uses the touchscreen, but the Switch probably does have a touchscreen.
I'm confident of this too. So.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll just be hold down a button and you touch the overlay will come down. You touch it, you let go, whatever. It'll be something like that.
Or even something simple on the screen. It's not going to be a big deal. I'm pretty sure that they have smarter guys than us working on this, or at least I hope so.
When you're waiting on the Cyrus, the name has left me, but like the starting pad when you restart or whatever. Probably when you're on that, the screen will just turn into the map, and you can just touch where you want to go, and then when you jump off, that'll disappear, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'll pop up when you need it, for example. But yeah, looks great, and can't wait to play it. And that I don't mind double dipping with Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm totally happy to buy that game again. That game is fantastic.
Like Mario Kart might have to prove it to me. You might have to have quite, because I bought both DLC packs and I played a lot of Mario Kart 8. So that's going to take a lot of convincing for me. But like Splatoon, I don't need much convincing. So yeah, Japan take on the games. What do they need? Obviously.
Right, and we had talked about that on the live show a couple weeks ago, or whatever the hell that was, last weekend. I think Monster Hunter is a thing that's going to come out eventually. I mean, like we said at the beginning of the show.
Mandatory.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't think these core games are going to do it. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but, Mario Kart 8 is bad. Splatoon is old news. Mario's nice, but we're going to need more.
Like, they did say that there's going to be... Or did they say there's a Mario Maker coming?
No, they didn't say anything.
It's been rumored, but like Emily Rogers kind of goes back and forth on that one. She's not sure. It was in development at one point, but it may have been pushed back or scrapped. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, I have been thinking a lot about Mario Maker because it's not actually a dual screen game. Mario Maker technically, because it's a touch screen game. You need the touch screen. But you don't, quote, need two screens, because you can design a level, and then when you're ready to play it, you can press play, and then the making stuff will disappear, and you can play it. It is nice to have two screens because it's not, well, from my personal point of view anyway. Like I like making the levels, pressing play, and then looking up to my TV and playing it on my TV.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that will not be possible on the Switch, because I'll have to stand up, go over to the TV, dock it, and then switch to my Pro and then play it, which is complete nonsense, right? So I'm going to have to do everything on the touchscreen controller. So maybe that's why they don't want to focus on it at launch, because it's going to be like it's not going to be selling the points of the system,
right?
Because you're going to have to play it all on the touchscreen, which is going to be a bit weird.
If that's the case as well, I mean, if you think about this, Mario Maker is coming to 3DS in December. And then, like, by the time the Switch comes out, that's just 3 months later. And it's kind of been in the equation. If they're going to do it, maybe they should just give it the 3DS version a little bit more room to breathe or something too.
Yeah, it is an odd thing. Like, I mean, I do wonder. I mean, I know we've gone past the console talk, but like, I mean, the wireless connection, like, why you can't dock it wirelessly, if you know what I mean, like have a button on the OS where you just press dock on the screen and then it comes on the TV. But I guess maybe the technology that they used with the Wii U, that like super fast video streaming thing that they had with the Wii U, maybe that was expensive, like too expensive to put in that. Maybe that's what why the Wii U is so fucking expensive, is because of that video streaming thing.
With the stuff that's getting streamed to the Wii U gamepad, that's not HD. That's 480p.
Yeah, and to make a 720 version of that would be crazy. Yeah. I mean, people often shit on the Wii U and how it's old and shitty technology, but like that video streaming thing still is amazing, and there aren't any other systems that do that, as far as I know. Like with zero lag or next to zero lag, like the Wii U does. Ty Osiris, this is your point where you come in and say, well, actually, this is the blah 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 blah.
I love that, being able to play games on my screen while other people use the TV. I think that's still such a great Wii U point. So whatever.
I mean, I mean, Ty, using Meat Boy as like a sample. I mean, what other system could let you play a game that requires that kind of zero lag kind of gameplay, while streaming it? You know what I mean? Like anything else would just be like lag central, right? You just wouldn't work.
What on earth are you talking about?
Having something on the TV and a portable thing at the same time wirelessly.
I don't know why you would want to do that when you're playing a game where latency matters.
Right. exactly. Why would you do that, right? But Nintendo did that and it worked, so
Wow, good on them, I guess.
I mean, like the PS4, what is it called? The Remote Play? I mean, that's like Lag Central, right?
It's weird.
It's not perfect, right? And
I
the
could
Vita
never really get it
TV,
to work very well.
yeah, and the PlayStation Now, I guess, which lets you play.
Oh, God.
Danny's just shaking his head at this.
No,
Like,
I was so disappointed with that because, there was obviously the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer that came out and showed basically nothing, but still I'm excited about that. And then I was hoping that maybe they'd release like a remastered version, but no, Sony was like, guess what? It's on PlayStation Now in North America. Like, well, that doesn't do me any bit of fucking good. So,
because streaming it from Japan, it would just be
I don't even, yeah, I
10-second delay.
I don't even think I could even get it started. But
Push up, make a cup of tea, come back, and you might have moved a bit.
yes, can't wait.
Okay, cool. So these other games, did somebody add these?
Yeah, so these are
right.
the other list of games that have been confirmed at various times over the last while.
Well, Skyrim remastered ? Is it the remastered one or is it just regular Skyrim?
Yeah, I put in question mark because no one has actually ever confirmed it. It's just shown in the trailer. Like Bethesda haven't claimed it yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
And actually, even worse, somebody actually contacted Bethesda and they actually can't confirm whether Skyrim is actually coming to Switch, which is just the weirdest thing ever. It's like,
very odd.
It was in the trailer, mate. It's like, nah. It's not confirmed.
What trailer? Sorry, you can't send me links. They get filtered by our email system.
Yeah, the remaster is coming out on everything else
soon, right?
Like right around now.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another kind of like Mass Effect scenario where it's like Mass Effect 3 coming to Wii U, but like people are already playing the trilogy on everything else for half the price. Less than half the price. Or Batman or, all those other third-party games which came 6 months late. At the time of the announcement, it was exciting, but by the time the actual console came around, it was like, oh, right, yeah, that's old now. Which could happen with, Skyrim and many other things.
Yeah.
So as other games, like Dragon Quest XI was confirmed ages ago to be coming out on the NX.
Yeah, Dragon Quest X as well.
And that Sonic Generations 2 or whatever it was, that was listed on the games at the bottom as like every console known to man, including the NX.
Right.
And,
Switch.
And a Nintendo console would not be complete without Just Dance. There's probably going to be 3 Just Dance games at launch titles.
Maybe that's where the pointer thing comes into handy. Maybe they are all 2 motion controls that you can use to waggle around like a psychopath. And also, like the thing that was confirmed, I think it was today actually at the time of recording, Mass Effect. Who makes Mass Effect?
EA?
BioWare?
Yeah, BioWare, thank you. So somebody contacted them because Mass Effect, and is it Andromeda?
Yeah.
Is going to release the same week as the Switch, or like the same month as the Switch. So it was people like, oh my God, confirmed, definitely coming. Nope, not coming out, mate. PS4 and Xbox One only. I think they just tweeted out. It was a very kind of morose, no emotion tweet. It was like, Mass Effect Andromeda is coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Thank you, please. That was it. So yeah, just a coincidence.
And it should also be noted that none of the games we've talked about, except Breath of the Wild, have been announced as launch titles. There's no announcement of launch titles yet. There's just what games are coming.
Actually, has Zelda even been confirmed as a launch title?
I had assumed it was, but now that you mention it, no, I don't think so.
It's confirmed. I think it said they're coming out the same time as the Wii U version, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's coming out in March. It could come out next Christmas.
Exactly. I keep hearing people say that. It makes me worried.
So literally no game has a launch window yet.
Yeah. So how do we feel about, NS, Nintendo Switch games just being mostly redone Wii U games? Like, how do we feel about that?
Thumbs down. Bad.
Bad idea.
I'm fine with some of, if they launch it and it's 100% or like 90 to 100% of all games on the system at launch are just re-releases. That's
Like the
bad.
PS4 was.
Yeah, and that was bad. That was super bad.
But you know, it does buy you enough time to get the new stuff out, like making the new stuff right. It's like, okay, please wait for the new Mario. Okay, we haven't quite finished that, but in the meantime, play all this shit that you didn't play on Wii U.
And that's what I'm like. I'm fine with having some stuff being re-releases. Like the PS4 was allowed to do it because the PS3 was crazy successful, and same with the Xbox. They're allowed to have a lot of re-releases because people are going to buy it on fan loyalty alone. The Wii U was a fucking train wreck and lost Nintendo's
I think
fans.
that's weird. I think that's the opposite though, because like, I mean, did anyone? I mean, I never owned any of those systems, but did any of you guys re-buy games on the Xbox One and PS4 that you had on Xbox 360 or PS3?
I
you
did.
ever do that?
I did with GTA 5 because I really, really like that game.
Okay.
I would also look at it that maybe like these people who have the previous consoles, they buy the new console and it's like, oh, I know it had all these amazing games, but I never quite got around to buying that other one. So they all had like one classic game that they hadn't played that was like their launch title.
I think Ty wanted to say something.
Yeah, I can't help but think maybe I did a couple times, like when they went on sale. Like, I know there was some deals, like if you had this game on 360, you could get the shiny new Xbox One version for like only a couple bucks.
Yes. I hope they do something like that.
So yeah, you could get an upgrade for like a few bucks, or you know, there were a couple games where they just gave it to you straight up free.
Yeah.
Before they introduced the reverse compatibility stuff at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's good.
I think I got Limbo for free.
And also, like PS4 had loads of PS3 games that they just gave away for free, right?
Yeah.
That they just remastered, and it's like, oh, you have it on your system, you've now got it, the new version for free. But Nintendo,
I don't think they did that. But
no, they did. I definitely remember at least like a couple of download games on PS4.
Okay, yes, maybe with that. But okay, I thought you were talking about like full retail things or something.
Maybe even like Journey or something. Like
Journey, I think you actually had to pay for it.
But the whole point is that with this, because it's like a new processor. We didn't really talk about the processor. It's not that interesting. It's a Tegra thing, but that's different from what previous Nintendo systems have been, right? So a lot of these games are going to have to be completely reworked, and it's going to be totally different. Behind the scenes, these are going to be very, very differently programmed games, right? So that's, they're basically having to remake it. So, like, are they going to give you these for free or reduced? This is Nintendo. They're a Japanese company. They're stingy as hell.
Yeah.
We've said this thousands of times on this show. Japanese people don't mind paying a lot of money for shit. And unfortunately, Western gamers kind of have to put up with that, hashtag deal with it. So like maybe like some downloaded games, a certain, like, I don't know, VC games, something like that, they might let you carry them over if it's tied to your account. But like, what are you going to do with a retail game? I've got Mario Maker on retail. I've got a disc, I'm shit out of luck if they may redo that one. Just buy it again, I guess.
What they did with 360, like back in the day, they started making it so that you could, and Ty, I know, probably knows all about this. They made it so that you can actually, if they read the disc in your system, you had an option where you can actually get the download version on your system. And then didn't you have to have the disc in there when you played it though, Ty? Or
right, if you had the data on your system, but you didn't have the key on your profile, you could just pop the disc in.
Yeah.
And you would play it.
Problem: the Switch doesn't have a disc drive.
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, there is like the Nintendo account and stuff, so you would think that there would be a way, even if it was like physical media, that it could somehow see that you have these games. And I think that's where I'm at right now with a lot of this stuff. I mean, well, first of all, we don't know. We have no specifics really, but based on the video and looking at this stuff, if it is indeed going to be launched with a bunch of games that I already own, I mean, Jesus, I used to be totally cool with just buying the same thing over and over again. But when they're like $60, that's kind of expensive, man.
I think we can hope for, maybe those, but like I think VC games, I think there's a 80% chance of those carrying over, maybe with a fee like we paid from Wii to Wii U.
That's fine. That's fair.
Some indie games I can see, people like Renegade Kid, I could see, those guys kind of saying, you bought it on Wii U, it's on your account, you can have the Switch version for free. I could see guys like that doing that kind of thing. But Nintendo themselves, like with retail games, like you bought Mario Maker and Splatoon, as digital games, and you can now got them for free.
You bought Mario Maker on Wii U and 3DS digitally, but you have to buy it again on Switch.
Right. But I don't know. If these are like Splatoon 1.5s, they might do that if you have the digital version. But for people like me who've got the disc, please understand, right?
Yeah, because they do already partially have stuff like that, where like if you have Smash Brothers for both systems, you can buy the DLC for both games at a discounted price.
Right.
So they have they've dipped their toe in the water of that already.
Right.
Yeah, and they do have some cross-buy games. There's like 3 or something.
Yeah.
But they're all like indie games. But there is a Nintendo one. The Mario and what's it called? Mario versus Donkey Kong. One of those games is cross-buy, right?
Right. I mean, whatever.
One singular game.
Yeah, I hope, and usually Nintendo's pretty good about this, they at least have some kind of unique game at launch.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I think the majority of the stuff that they would release at launch is like a lot of like Wii U remasters, if you will, surely they got to have something that's going to be like, hey, what's the reason you want to get the Switch other than the form factor and stuff? And then
there are rumors for that. Yeah, the rumors that there is something, a unique take on a certain genre is coming to Switch at release, whatever that is.
Pong. But, each person takes one half the controller and plays Pong.
Hey, you got the paddles, right?
Yeah.
So the last section, the future / anything else you wanted to talk about? I guess we touched on the account system, but the another thing about the account system, something that worries me, is that when you download games, are they locked to each Switch? Are they going to finally get like the family account system, sorted? Because like I could definitely see like families have one dock and then like a Switch each kind of thing. Are you going to be able to share games between those Switches if you have one dock? You're going to be able to share games, or is it like you have to download the game on each system?
That just seems very confusing to me. I would assume games are locked to a Switch. That's just how I would think it would work.
But also what I mean by that is like if you wanted to transfer games, like, buy a new Switch, the thing that's a pain in the ass at the moment is that, if your Wii U breaks or if you upgrade your Wii U, to like a different Wii U, for example, you get like a special edition system. It's a complete pain in the ass to like transfer everything. You basically have to transfer everything over. That's it. It's totally weird. And if you lose it, it's like even worse.
Even I think the day that Iwata actually like unveiled, the NX name and stuff like that, they were talking about like, they wanted to integrate a lot of their stuff with cloud, like in the cloud and stuff. So I mean, if they actually do something like that,
but that started so
be a problem.
Quite recently. We had not even had a year of that. I mean, there was shit that I bought, which was like just a few weeks before the My Nintendo account came out, and I don't get any coins for that. I don't get anything for that. That was like, nope, that was the old system. Fuck you. Yeah. It's like, it's only since the My Nintendo account system happened, right? So, we'll see. I mean, Ty, you said you were like, one of you tweeted like things that the Switch needs, and one of those was like, what did you say? Something about DRM?
Yeah, non-insane DRM.
Right, exactly.
Right. It's not exactly a high bar to pass, but I have a lot of skepticism right now.
What would that entail? A non-crazy DRM?
Okay, basically just your games assigned to account, and then you can log in on any account and download your fucking games that you bought.
That's crazy. Crazy. Nothing exists like that right now.
Yeah, certainly none of the other systems have it.
Nope.
Except that's expressly what they have.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Come
Good.
on.
What were the other things, Ty, in that same tweet?
Let's see. It
Have
was there were 3 bullet points. There was non-insane DRM.
Mhm.
There was no region lock.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's gotta
I think that's almost confirmed. Yeah.
almost confirmed.
Mhm.
They certainly seemed open to the idea.
Yeah. All signs point to maybe.
The last time, they were being raked over the coals about why their system is garbage. And then the last thing was good games.
Whoa. Calm down. Let's not get too greedy here.
Right? I mean, I would buy a garbage-ass system if it was as good as, say, Wario Land on Virtual Boy.
What the fuck is that? Where did that come from? Virtual Boy?
Yeah, Virtual Boy has a good game. It's Wario Land.
Virtual. Let's just rewind that sentence. Virtual Boy has a good game, singular.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some other games that are okay, but whatever. I feel like Wario Land was worth the price of entry, and I don't see that.
Makes you blind. It makes you blind or whatever, but yeah, who cares, right?
Worth the
Good
price
game.
of entry. My site.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And I mean, I feel that Wario Land on Virtual Boy is certainly better than anything on the Wii U or the Switch we've seen so far.
Why they never did Virtual Boy Virtual Console, I'll never understand. On 3DS, for example. That is just bizarre. It's a freaking 3D system.
Change that color palette.
So
They lost the source code.
yeah, probably.
Probably.
That would involve having intimate knowledge of the hardware, which is something we can't expect Nintendo to ever have,
Right.
having made the hardware. So the price, I mean, I just laid down some numbers here. I mean, you guys can feel free to just completely disagree with me, but like I would hope / expect $299 for the Switch and a dock at launch. And I think that's what they're going to launch with. You're going to have to buy it with a dock, because I don't think they're going to waste inventory having the dock and the control and the system and then have individual systems, because that's just too much to handle at launch.
You buy this with a dock. I can't imagine any other way.
Because that's part of the whole thing of the system. This is what
It's too confusing, wouldn't it? Like you're like, so do I need to buy 2 of these? Like that's going to cost me like $600 now? No. So
I would say they are going to go for the most streamlined launch of this thing. There'll be one kind of system. There'll be like the Pro Controller will be an optional add-on, and that's basically it.
Yeah, and the grip thing as well, I mean, I think the grip is going to be separate, because they're going to strip down as much as possible, so you don't, no additional costs. Because the thing about the gamepad on the Wii U was that they just couldn't take it out, because it was just a vital part of the system, and it was just so expensive, which is why it's still $300 5 years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, $299 for the Switch and the dock, and then maybe later in the year, like Christmas or later, maybe sell individual units like without the dock for $249, because I think that'd be like very reasonable. Because by that time, your girlfriend / siblings or whatever, they're going to want a second system in the house, to put into your dock. So $249 for that would seem fine. Nothing sexual there whatsoever. Okay,
just violent.
$249 would be great. $199 would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because then people would be going mental and buying, like 4 Switches per household. But this is Nintendo, so.
The competition.
Yeah.
Whether Nintendo
for just the tablet thing seems a bit much for me.
Right. I mean, the competition. You got to look at that. You got to look at something like PlayStation and what Microsoft's doing, and their bottom of the line. The most stripped down versions of their systems start at like $300. Right. And they could potentially go down in price, a year from now. And then, even with the Xbox One, I mean, you got the older models that are being discontinued, so that shit's like on fire sale. And they're like burning them in like giant, buckets now, aren't they? The original Xbox ones, aren't they like $199 now, isn't it? Some places. They're giving them away. I think, even though Nintendo likes to, they pretend like they don't compete with those other guys. I mean, that's exactly what they do, whether they like it or not.
Right.
I mean, it's a video game system, a dedicated video game system. There's not many of those things around.
Danny, we compete with everyone. We compete with everyone's time. That's what they say.
That's right. Well, I think they got to launch this thing at $250 or less. If
For
they
the
don't,
dock and the thing?
the dock and the thing together. And then, like you said, like Cyrus was saying too, maybe as stripped down as you can. Maybe no joypad grip or whatever the fuck it's called, Joy-Con grip.
That'll be like $30 extra though.
Yeah, I don't even think that would even be that much for that individually, but maybe something like 10 or 15.
Well, it's got the battery in it. I would say 20, 30.
But bottom line for the console, if they could somehow stretch that thing to like $200, I think you can get a lot of people buying it. You can get a lot of interest in it. But if it's like $300 or $350, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of guys like me and some of us on the podcast would buy it regardless. I mean, I bought my Wii U, and I think with taxes, it was over like $400 for the stupid Monster Hunter bundle that I bought. But
best 30 minutes of your life.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping, just for Nintendo's sake, that they are smart and not too greedy on the price stuff. Because I mean, that's really bit them in the ass in the past two, hardware releases.
Yeah, so, like I wrote in the agenda, I said, like $299, but knock $50 off if they want to go super aggressive and super smart, which Nintendo might not do. But if it's $249, that is just like, people are going to go ape shit for that. It's going to be amazing. And then $199 for just the Switch. Yeah, people are going to be buying pink, red, green, lime green versions of those at Christmas. They're going to be loving it. And I would say the Pro would probably be about 50, the grip about 20, 30. And then the dock, maybe they'll sell the dock, so you can put the dock in like different TVs around the house, maybe in the West, maybe not in Japan.
Maybe not in Japan.
Where there's only one TV.
Yeah.
But sell the dock for like, 50 or whatever. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, I'm going to have to wait. I mean, I never buy consoles at launch, but there's many, many reasons why I do that. I like to know how, the region-free aspect of it. I need to know how that's going to work. I want to know how the account system is going to work in different countries. Can I buy Japanese games and still access, if I get a British one, can I access the British store in Japan? I need to know all of those nitty-gritty details.
That is 100% why I would hold off to the account management. Because if the system's region-free, that's cool. But if the system is region-free and then the DLC is region-locked, that gets very annoying and confusing.
Right. So that would also be fine if you can log into different accounts.
Yes.
Like you can on the PlayStation, right? But if it's the stupid, locking one account per console and you can't ever log out, that kind of thing. I need to know all of those things before I can jump in. And hopefully, people are going to, the early adopters are going to buy it, get their, fingers bitten. And they're going to go, oh, fucking hell, I shouldn't have bought the Japan region. Oh, it's bullshit. I can't do anything with it. Then I'll laugh my ass off and not buy that. So I like to see other people make mistakes so I can buy it, a couple of months later.
Yeah. Did everybody give their price estimates? I don't think everybody did that.
I'm guessing that somewhere between 250, 300. That's kind of where it feels like somewhere that'll slot in around there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say 300. Tablets are still not cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Danny, what's the cheapest iPad? Like iPad Mini or something?
Probably Mini, and maybe like Mini 2. If they even, I think they didn't discontinue those yet. And I think that might even be still maybe $350, something like that. Maybe less. I don't know.
Right. And this is going to be more powerful than that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, you're still talking hundreds of dollars for something like that. And Android tablets. I mean, depending on how old they are, I mean, you can get a lot of cheap stuff. And use Apple ones too. But yeah, you want to go buy something in the store, you're going to be at least spending a couple $100.
Right.
I asked in the chat just to see how much people are willing to spend on the thing. Like, what is their upper ceiling? So, It's a Me Deplorable said $400 was their ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they would be willing to pay $400. And Erin H said $300 was her maximum.
Yeah, I mean, from Me myself, I mean, like I said, it's really not an issue, not because I'm like loaded or anything, but before consoles come out, I always make sure I save up like a significant amount of money so I can get accessories, games, whatever. I mean, so even though I got that stupid Wii U bundle that I wasn't too thrilled about, I got the Pro controller with it as well. I got a game that I didn't really care about, but I also bought some other games as well, and probably spent about like maybe $500, maybe a little bit more than that, but. That's usually
I hope
my
the
ceiling.
Pro controllers work with it.
What
with
now?
the Switch. I hope the Wii U Pros work with the Switch.
That's a nice dream.
What about the Wii remotes? Maybe they're gonna anything with Wii on it. They're just gonna get rid of it.
It's over.
Yeah, there was no even hint of any Wii related activity. Nobody was Wiiing in that video.
No, the dream is dead.
What are you talking about? There was a dog in that video.
Hey yo. Good. I think has anyone got anything in the anything else topic?
What I was thinking about is that is Pokemon is for the system.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Pokemon is like it is their handheld baby, and then they have very particular clauses of like when it's on home consoles, it has to be a different game to separate it from the handheld systems, which is no longer an issue.
Right, now it's both, so what are you going to do?
So I would like to see, because what they would do with that, and even on that note, is this will free up a ton of space for retailers. That you go into a store anymore, they won't have a Wii U section and a 3DS section. There will be the one section. That's
wow. Jet Li, good movie.
Yeah. Well, I think 3DS is going to be around for a couple more years. I mean, I don't think there's any support going away from that, especially here in Japan. I mean, a lot of Japanese developers love making these basically standard definition, substandard definition games, basically. So it's really a hell of a lot cheaper than making like an HD game. And some of these companies, like you think like Capcom, they have Monster Hunter, man. That stuff's, I mean, if they update stuff visually or anything like that, it's all incremental. And maybe content-wise, they try to add more stuff. Pokemon, I mean, they kind of made some big steps, this generation with making a fully 3D environments and stuff like that. But they're going to probably try to milk that as much as they can.
It's going to be a while before we see Pokemon on it because do you remember? Was it Black and White? And then they did, and then the 3DS came out. And then they said a new Pokemon game's coming out, and we're like, oh shit, new 3DS Pokemon and Black 2, White 2, here we go. It's on DS.
Yeah, and it made sense. It was just a number.
Yeah, because that's that's the number. The same thing is going to happen with this. Next, not this Christmas, but like next 2017 Christmas, there might be a new Pokemon version iteration out. It's not going to be on the Switch. 2018 at the earliest.
Sure,
if that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and also the Pokemon Go commercial and this Switch commercial were very similar in tone. I don't know if you noticed that. Same kind of people. There's kind of what do you call them? Trendy San Francisco type people.
Beautiful people.
Yeah, unrealistically rich people.
Yeah, basically not from my neck of the woods where everybody's poor and fat and just hate their lives.
Even the basketball court was like, nicely lit, very safe. Didn't feel dangerous.
Yeah, the ones. I mean, you'd be hearing gunshots. There'd be like, the netting would be made of chains, and there'd be like probably somebody hanging up there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey guys, should we whip out our expensive game system and play right here on the? Hey,
that's just asking to get murdered in my hometown.
Hey, he's like waving it around. Yeah, brilliant. Very realistic situations.
Yeah, but and I think we talked about this earlier. I do think that with this reveal trailer, they did a great job getting to the point, showing what they really wanted to convey about what this system is, and I think people could understand that. And
no bullshit. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I looked at the original Wii controller reveal where it's like this Wii remote coming out of like this, just like in my image, it's like plastic goop, and it just kind of starts coming out. It's like, oh my god, this is it. And then it's just showing. It's not showing any gameplay. It's just showing people swinging around the stuff and noises, but you get it.
I remember there's like this Japanese girl.
Like the Wii advertisement, that was great. Just showing the players doing stuff and no games.
And then the
Genius
dopey guy playing on the drums and stuff. I mean,
Private
it's good
jokes.
though.
No, but do you remember the Japanese girl? And she was like, had the remote. She was going like,
With the Mario
What
jumping.
was that about? Yeah, but she was flicking the Wii remote up, and then everyone thought that's how you're going to make Mario jump is by flicking it.
Yeah.
Like, oh God,
I
that was
mean,
a bad idea.
but it was just like conceptual stuff. But they were showing like these are the types of things that we want to do with this, and you could kind of visualize to an extent, maybe not the Mario thing, but everything else you could pretty much visualize.
The Metroid guy with the jumping behind the couch, shooting and then like diving behind the couch.
I thought
That's how I played it anyway.
that was Red
But
Steel.
what's so genius about this ad and that Mario is so iconic is after all this crazy stuff that this girl is doing this and you know exactly what she's doing with it. Like that's how clear that advertisement was.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then fast forward to Wii U. Like we mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I mean, I don't want to get like too deep into this, but I was rewatching the initial reveal trailer. It's just they're showing all sorts of stuff. I mean, they're showing like basically redone like Wii Sports, and you're like, I can imagine just like a uninformed person, or maybe even like somebody that's like informed, like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Like, there's a lot of this weird stuff. They're showing like, okay, you can watch videos on here and hide them on this gamepad and throw it up on the screen. It's like, all right.
It looked like a multi-touch controller. They were doing that with the shurikens. That never doesn't work out.
even like I tried to watch the like we all watched this trailer recently. I think as a comparison, that like I tried to watch it as if I was uninformed, and I would 100% think that ad was just an advertisement for an addition to the Wii U.
I was going to say, do you know anyone who was like fooled? Like
my girlfriend did not even know.
Yeah,
like,
because
years later, when I bought my Wii U.
Oh, Cyrus is gone.
Oh,
but like, I think he was about to say, when he bought the Wii U, she probably thought like, oh, that's like a different console. I didn't know.
Yes, that is it. Yeah, sorry if I cut out. That's what. She didn't know it was a separate one until I explained it to her that it was a new console.
Yeah, another thing, if you look at that video, the guy is playing Wii Sports with a Wii remote.
Right.
And under the TV is a system which looks exactly like a Wii. And because like I think that month or like just before that, they'd actually re-released the Wii like in different different
Wii.
colors. No, not the Wii Mini,
black
but like
one and the blue like turquoise.
Yeah,
or
they started
something.
selling them on the side. The Wii had always been like a vertical.
Oh,
But that month, they'd literally just started selling Wiis on the side in different colors. So it looked like a Wii. I mean, like, and then every 5 seconds it would come up like the new controller does this. And they never mentioned console. It was always controller.
right.
I mean, obviously all of us guys knew that it was a new system because, we were waiting for the new console to be released at, E3 at like 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever it was.
Right.
But, idiots
Also,
didn't know
side
that.
note, I missed the launch for that console. I didn't even notice it was launched for like
Wow.
weeks afterwards.
No one else did.
Yeah. Right. Well, do we have any other closing thoughts? Anything you guys want to say before we go ahead and I guess get ready to take us out?
I like the reveal, and I'm optimistic, and I'm excited about what it means because it's kind of what I need right now. And just thinking about like playing this at like my work, and playing with students, even like being able to play Splatoon at lunchtime with my students is just like mind explosion. It's like going to be amazing.
Ty, how about you?
I don't like it. I'm not excited. I'm not looking forward to playing with my students or whatever. I pray for death.
That's just in general, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Chat is saying game's optimistic and hell has frozen over.
I didn't catch all of that, but I just heard James optimistic hell, and yes, I agree with all of that.
Yes. For me, I thought the trailer was fantastic. Aside from that guy abandoning his dog, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was really good. I'm excited, but I'm not 100% sold on launch yet. But I think it's really, really cool looking.
Right. I'm pretty much right there with Cyrus. I mean, I thought the reveal is fantastic. Very focused. You really understand what they're trying to go for. But I'm just hoping that launch is going to be more than just Wii U games that I played. I mean, I love Splatoon. That'd be maybe the only one I'd buy because I like Mario Kart, but it's like, all right, I played Mario Kart on my 3DS. This is a little bit better. But, I played Smash Brothers before. This is good, but I played this.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem for us guys who have those games already, isn't it?
Yeah. But, okay. James, did we have any feedback lined up?
Oh, yes. I think, well, excitingly, we have a Famicast listener in Japan right now.
I think we have
oh my gosh.
2, actually.
Sorry, what was that?
We have 2 Famicast listeners in Japan.
We have 2 listeners in Japan right now, really?
Yes.
I know Luca is one of them.
Yep, that's right. The other is Rich. He's been here for, I think, a little while now. I remember. God, I forgot. It's been so long ago.
Oh, yeah, Rich. Yes. I guess Danny, maybe you're trying to meet up with Rich and Tyrion, Luca?
If possible. I'd like to.
Somewhere in Tokyo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca's just saying here, this is the first time we're all in the same country. And he'll be listening to the podcast because the trip from Kyoto was tiring. I guess he's in Kyoto right now.
He was. I think he's back here now. I don't know.
Kyoto, great city.
Forgot. Yeah.
My favorite city in Japan. True story. Please stand by.
Well, okay. Just by the way, too, if you want to hit us up, like if you want to have something read out on the air, you can email us at famicast@nintendoworldreport.com. If you want to hit us up on Twitter, you can do that at the Famicast and have your stuff read out on the air like these guys. For YouTube events like this, I mean, we have the chat open right now, finally. Thanks to all you guys for coming in and just, chatting up stuff. And I've been keeping an eye on it. Cyrus has been, kind of typing back and forth, and I try to, we try to bring stuff up. Oh, Ty too, yeah.
Yeah, I've been dropping like lib comments in there.
Oh yeah, I laughed at one of them that you said. I don't remember which one it was, but.
Okay. Well, we have lots of tweets related to the telethon. That was going on. Russ Greeno he was a bit disappointed because he wanted to join in with the quiz, but he was too tired and he had to go to bed.
Oh right.
Because he'd been playing indie Wii U games all night or something. Peanut Crunch, who won the quiz during the telethon, he was happy to get his Famicom Rob Amiibo because he was just about to buy one. So and then he ended up winning one, which was good. Congratulations to him. Seren was disappointed that she missed 2 questions during the quiz, but only because she didn't answer in time. I guess you can put her on scrub quotes along with Ty, who only failed because they were too slow in answering. Ty Osiris, I don't know if you've listened to the telethon, but we didn't do the fastest finger first. We just most correct answers this time. So, if you want to play the quiz, by the way, I'm talking to the listeners now. But Cyrus, Ty, you feel free to play the quiz. Cool. If you go to the telethon, we have a page, Danny, right? We have a telethon page on the site.
Shit.
The Famicast, the Famicast telethon special episode has been remastered. Okay. It appeared before this episode in the stream. So if you click on if you go to the show notes, the page for that, there's a link to the quiz. So open that quiz up, put your name in, and then start listening to the show, and you can actually play along in real time with the guys, JJ and John and Danny who played the quiz. Then it'd be more fun.
Aaron mentioned the time the quiz was way harder than the first quiz.
Yeah. Well, I was just a bit worried about it being too easy, and then because these are all like super nerds joining, so it's like I know they're gonna know everything. Easy questions. So yeah, it wasn't too. Danny, I mean, you did all right, right? You got 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Some of the stuff, I think it was only a couple really, really hard questions in there, honestly.
Yeah, but yeah. I got one from Nick Zakharevich. Sorry, I'm not good with Russian names.
Nick Z. We helped out. Well, we kind of helped promote his charity podcast over the summer.
Oh, right. Yes. Nick, the Nick podcast.
The Nick's Cast.
He said, wow, the NX was revealed before Famicast episode 90 was released. It feels like anything can happen now. Come on, Mother 3 for Switch. Right. So yeah, that's why my lower third is James was right because, yeah, I called it. It happened. Believe it.
Yes.
For Famicast 90. And I did a poll, ages ago I did a poll like, will the NXP be announced, revealed before or after Famicast 90? And everyone said after. But then I reran it again, like maybe like 2 days before the reveal. I didn't know it was going to be revealed on that day. And then people again said, nope, it's still going to be revealed after Famicast 90. So I just kind of retweeted that and said, hey guys, what's up? You were all wrong, bitches. So I think that's it. All the rest of them are just like Danny and Tyrion trying to arrange a date.
Exactly.
In Tokyo. So,
yep.
Thanks for at tweet mentioning the Famicast in every single part of that conversation.
Oh, you're welcome.
You
All right.
Good.
Well,
what the hell? As I'm looking at the Famicast thing, Ty has just tweeted something suspicious. I don't know. Have a look for yourself.
I'll have to check it out. In the meantime, though, I think we're going to go ahead and close out the show. It's getting a little bit late here locally. Leave comments and stuff, guys. Send me on YouTube and, on the site as well. That's always helpful. Just let us know maybe what we're doing that we can do better. We'd love to do that. So I guess that's going to be all for now. Thank you guys for joining in live. Thank you for listening on the podcast feed. And I guess we'll give out our individual Twitter handles and sign off here. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Danny Biv. James, how about you, man?
Just do a search for hashtag James was right and you'll find me.
Okay. And Ty?
Super Cat Drugs. That's my handle. Please enjoy it.
Sweet. And Cyrus?
You can find me at Southside, where I kind of fell off the horse trying to do my Inktober thing of drawing a picture every week, or every day. I'm gonna catch up. I promise you.
Now you're gonna do it every week. Got it. Anyways, all right. Well, that's gonna do it for the main part of the show. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Are you gonna hang up immediately, Danny, or are we doing some extra live stuff?
We could. It's pretty late.
I got nothing.
I saved the best thing for last. Polygon.com just posted this thing of like all the patents that have been filed for the Switch's console unit, where there's like stuff for like an infrared camera and a light distance sensing camera and a projector that can like shine images onto your hand and stuff. So the game could like fire a ball out of the system, and you could like catch it in your real hand, and then the motion sensor, you could throw the ball back into the console. This is some next level stuff.
I just don't even know what I'm listening to right now.
So yes, I'm gonna file that under Crazy Pants McGee in my filing system,
but that little mock-up with like the two sticks and the little guy on the screen, that's basically what the Switch is, though, isn't it? More or less. Shape, if you just ignore the shape.
Yeah, not shaped like an oval egg thing.
Yep.
All right, well, yeah, I don't got anything. And
I just got my cool Splatoon bandana. Check it out.
Nice.
Oh, I had a Splatoon wafer, finally. That was good.
Yeah, I've been avoiding buying them because I thought it was just the logos of the companies, but you post on Twitter it was like cooler stickers.
Good. I got a Monster Hunter Stories pamphlet on the. Oh, Danny didn't talk about it this episode, but I've got the posters up here. Monster Hunter Stories.
Right, and another kind of shameless plug. I'll probably have some kind of an article going up on Nintendo World Report pretty soon, mainly covering like a lot of the combat stuff, kind of like more in depth than we've ever done on the site in written form. So look forward to that. And then I'm not going to commit to anything here, but then after that, I might do another set of impressions talking about just a lot more about monsters and customization and stuff like that. Because this game is incredibly deep for being something that's basically a kid's game. There's a lot of stuff going on that, it's pretty crazy.
Talking about kids, my son went to his Halloween party a couple of days ago, dressed as a Ghostbuster.
Mhm.
Very proud day. He was the only Ghostbuster there. And also, we picked up one of these Pokemon Sun and Moon leaflets at the game store, or the same place I got this actually.
Mhm.
And obviously my son's been into Pokemon Go, so he's kind of gradually learning all the original 150. So he didn't know any of the bullshit new Pokemon in Sun and Moon, but like on the back page they had all the is it called Alola? Aloha?
Alola forms, yeah.
And he was asking me like, Daddy, why is Rattata like a different color? Or like, why is Executor got a long neck? Like he knew all of them once, but he knew that what was different about them. So those are the only Pokemon he knew.
That's pretty cute.
150, yeah.
Well, if you allow him to play a Pokemon game, you should just make him start on original Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Game Boy. I'll give him an original Game Boy, black and white.
Only let him play Pokemon Ranger games and make him very confused.
No. I'll get him taken away from me by the child support at that point.
Right.
Child cruelty.
Hey man, Pokemon Ranger games are fucking sick. I love those games.
They are fucking sick.
As in, they're gonna make you puke. I get it.
Exactly. Like
I did play the third Pokemon Ranger game while I was like really badly having a fever, and I had these really vivid fever dreams where I was trying to catch this Raichu, and he kept shooting me with lightning, and it really hurt. And I woke up and I was punching myself in the stomach.
Cyrus, can you just say that again? Can you say you were playing the third Pokemon Ranger game, but just say it with a more Irish accent?
I was playing the third Pokemon Ranger game.
There you go. Now it makes more sense. Now it's actually correct.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Well, we've got our outtake for this episode. So
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I think we're going to go.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Gentlemen.
Thank you for listening.
Shout out to the chat room. I had fun talking to y'all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I didn't see any of it, but thank you.